Have you ever felt like a warrior who spends his entire life preparing to fight but never enters the battlefield of action? Look at your fatigue. It's the silent exhaustion of someone overwhelmed by the no-combat theory, the paralyzing anxiety of trying to absorb everything but mastering nothing. Where is your energy? It's drained by the modern illusion that mastery, whether in work, finances, or the spirit, requires more effort or more information, when in fact it only requires more cutting and more elimination. Get ready, because you're about to receive the complete strategic arsenal of Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary invincible samurai, and an ancient strategy for learning how the samurai masters anything fast. You'll master the brutal art of cutting, focus on the essentials, which can lead you to mastery in a fraction of the time most spend hesitating. Musashi left behind a hidden secret at the heart of his strategy. The key to speed is not strength, but impenetrable simplicity. This liberation from chronic indiscipline won't be found in yet another productivity guide that adds steps to your chaotic routine. The radically opposite solution is to eliminate the useless. What failed before were methods that trade deliberate repetition for toxic novelty. Musashi's blade teaches us that true discipline resides in the brutal art of cutting. This knowledge has been lost in modern culture, fragmented by the distraction industry. But it is precisely this impenetrable discipline that separates the eternal apprentice from the silent master. Right now, let's dive into the 10 strategies, 10 combat principles, that will allow you to exchange the anchor of mediocrity for impenetrable focus. If you feel you already have the blade, your mind, and are ready to use it to overcome inertia, comment now. I am the strategist of my mastery. Your greatest enemy isn't a lack of time or intelligence, but the rejection of toxic novelty you cultivate. The gap between knowing and doing is mediocrity's most powerful weapon. You're not learning to get good at something uncomfortable. You're learning to feel good or to experience something new, and so your brain has become addicted to the dopamine of discovery. Learning has become an addiction to content, not action, and that's why traditional methods fail. They give you more theories, reinforcing the silent error of trading deliberate repetition for the momentary gratification of entertainment. You're trapped in the modern dilemma, the anxiety of searching for what to do differently, that sabotages the simple, monotonous discipline of just doing. Your excess of theory is just a disguise for the fear of emotional regret that accompanies failure. The path to mastery is both hard and simple, and requires you to embrace monotony as a sharpening tool. Musashi wouldn't hesitate. You must have the courage to cut out the tasks and people that sabotage your vital point. Master Bodhidharma, the founder of Zen, understands that monotony is the very tool for forging instinct, not the enemy to be avoided. Accelerated mastery arises not from complexity, but from focus on the essential and relentless self-discipline. Yamamoto Tsunetomo, Hagakure, teaches that honor lies in action, not calculation. Impenetrable discipline is the arsenal you need to exchange the slowness of calculation for the speed of the essential strike. If you are ready to accept the challenge of monotony and exchange content addiction for the speed of the essential cut, subscribe to Axiom Sage now and activate the bell to forge your inner blade. The gap between knowing and doing is proof that inertia is the oldest enemy. You can't wait for motivation or the ideal moment. Mastery requires you to use the secret of Sen, samurai initiative. Sen is acting at the exact moment the idea arises, stealing time from your more tired and distracted future self. Consider Thomas, a consultant in Dublin, who was trapped in the vicious cycle of analysis. His over-planning was an emotional trap, hiding the urgency to control the future, his own silent anxiety masquerading as diligence. His turning point was accepting that imperfect action beats perfect waiting. As Lao Tzu said, "The wise begin where others end." Clarity only comes after the first blow. This shift is not temporary. It is a profound, inevitable, and permanent transformation of the mind, as you become the strategist who does not hesitate. He discovered that power resides in the arm that wields, your will. not in the technology or tool you use. Nagarjuna's non-duality gave him the perspective that error is not failure. It is merely feedback. The speed of your learning is the speed with which you cut through emotion and act. The warrior who masters quickly understands that accelerated mastery is an architecture, not a coincidence. Let's integrate it through the 10 principles that cut hesitation and cure overthinking. Inertia is the oldest enemy. Self-awareness, the first strike, is against inertia. Over-planning is an emotional trap. Your urge to control the future, silent anxiety, masquerading as diligence. Training with your eyes closed. Discipline of attention, the secret to moving action from the conscious to the instinctive. Implement short, relentless practices, 5 minutes, 3 times a day, focusing on physical sensation so that the essential skill, the Pareto 20%, is imprinted in the nervous system. The speed of emotional cutting. Emotional control. Nagarjuna's non-duality teaches us that success and failure are feedback. Failure is not failure. It is emotional regret. The speed of your learning is the speed with which you cut off this emotion. Monotony as a tool. The importance of rituals. Dogen's Zen teaches that effortlessness arises from the perfection of form. It is in the boredom of repetition that instinct is forged, allowing the mind to free itself for strategy, while the body handles execution. The vital point. Alignment with purpose. General Sun Tzu observes the enemy's vital point and attacks there. You need to ignore 90% of the noise to focus all your strength on the vital point of learning. Mastery isn't about shooting more, it's about aiming for the vital point, clarity of purpose. The two-sword strategy. Uniting wisdom and action. Avoid the slow pace of learning all the theory before you begin. Use fundamental knowledge, long sword, and immediate application, short sword. Learn the vital principle. Apply it, gather feedback, and only then return for more theory. Beginner's stance. Transcendence of ego. The greatest obstacle is your "I already know." Empty your ego. Adopt the infinitely receptive state of beginner's stance, taught by Shunryu Suzuki, so that new knowledge can enter. The body as a temple of purpose. Your unwavering stance isn't just physical. It's your clearly defined primary purpose, your North Star. External distractions will try to break your rhythm, but you always return to your base. Honor, not pleasure. Mastery is a journey of honor to your fullest potential. It is the discipline of Dharma, Bhagavad Gita, doing the right action, even if painful, without attachment to the outcome. The hesitation cut. Imperfect action beats perfect waiting. Your power resides in the arm that wields it, your will, not in the technology you use. This is your roadmap to accelerated mastery. If you felt the call of this discipline and are ready to forge your inner warrior, subscribe to Axiom Sage and activate the bell so you don't miss any essential teachings and maintain your unwavering stance. Now, focus solely on the sensation of your next movement, whatever it may be. Breathe and bring your attention to your unwavering stance. Feel your spine erect, your chest open. Feel the weight of your body in the seat. Force your body to cut through hesitation and embrace the urgency of action. If you felt this firmness and clarity emerging, that's immediate subjective validation. It's the power of freeing your conscious mind for strategy while your body handles execution. Proof that your unwavering center is forging. The paradox of surrender and control is the final key. Control is not about forcing the outcome. It is about controlling yourself and your present action. True surrender, Wu Wei, is surrendering to the discipline of the now. You can only flow with life, Lao Tzu, after you have forged your own internal structure and discipline, Confucius. The synthesis of the two-sword strategy is proof that the path of transformation is complete. Use knowledge, long sword, to define the vital point, but use action, short sword, to forge instinct and speed. This is the complete path of transformation that unites Musashi's two-sword strategy, forging wisdom and action into a single blade. At this moment, You no longer have the excuse of ignorance. You have received Musashi's complete strategic arsenal. The blade is forged and sharpened in your hands. The ultimate secret is recognizing your own essence. The question is no longer having the tools, but having the courage to enter the battlefield of your life and apply them. Mastery is a test of honor and decisive action, not analysis. The next step isn't to analyze or hesitate. It's to choose one of the 10 strategies and apply it relentlessly today. I challenge you to break out of the vicious cycle of anxiety and emptiness and become the strategist of your own mastery. What's your vital point? And what's your first strike now? Subscribe and comment below with your choice. I cut through the hesitation and act now. Remember, mastery is a test of honor and decisive action, not analysis.